Our climate is changing. We are seeing the consequences more frequently than ever before. One cause of this change is the carbon emissions that everyone creates, some more than others. It is not too late for everyone to act. But time is running out. Ashton Hayes, lying in the heart of rural Cheshire with a population of around 1,000 residents, is aiming to become the first village in England to achieve carbon neutral status. A host of students and lecturers came from the University of Chester, which has committed to help the project for at least 5 years. We've had tremendous support for the initiative from the community, landowners, local councils and national organisations.
Well, when we say carbon neutral village, what we really mean is assessing whether we can reduce our carbon emissions through lifestyle changes and at the same time take actions which would mitigate any remaining carbon that we would produce as part of our normal day-to-day lives.
Carbon reduction obviously is reducing your carbon, what we call carbon footprint, the amount of carbon dioxide that you personally, through your actions, through the energy you use, reducing that to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that is produced from the fossil fuels. Carbon neutrality takes that one step further by trying to balance your lifestyle in terms of the amount of carbon that you're producing, putting out into the atmosphere, and the amount that you're taking away from the atmosphere, so that there's a net balance of zero.
The project is being sponsored and supported by a wide range of businesses in the area that have put their corporate and social responsibilities at the heart of their business culture.
Awareness has been raised. I think a lot of that is through the school children, through their parents, but also people like myself, middle-aged and the pensioners, have also managed to find some area that they can be involved and be interested. It's brought a variety of people in that wouldn't normally get involved in community projects, and it's been really beneficial for other areas within the Chester district because they've come on board and joined in as well.
My 7-year-old goes to Ashton Primary School and has been taking part in the carbon neutral projects at school, so we've been reinforcing what she's been learning by showing her that we are also trying to take part in that at home. I think it's important with issues like this that you start on a small scale, so if one village is able to make changes because other people within the village have done it, then hopefully it will have a knock-on effect on a larger scale through government to encourage people to do it nationwide.
I think it's just a great opportunity for the children to get involved in something exciting, something for the future. It's good publicity for us as a school to get involved as a part of the community. It's got them questioning about their use of energy, how much we waste in school, how much they waste at home. They've just been totally behind it.
A group of students from the University of Chester carried out a door-to-door baseline survey in the village. They asked residents to answer a few questions about their energy use, home insulation and heating.
Basically, try to cut down on the amount of energy that we use. Don't waste energy is the main thing. Don't leave things switched on. I don't use the car unless I absolutely have to. Think about energy, what they're using, all the time. Think whether or not they actually need to use that energy.
In the first 5 months, some residents have implemented energy-saving changes by, for example, installing loft insulation, using the tumble dryer less, and switching to energy-saving light bulbs.
It's not only the fuel that we use, but also the fuel that is used to produce the packaging and the like that we also use. We can only all contribute such a tiny amount towards it, but if everybody contributed a tiny amount, then it would obviously make a difference.
It gives me optimism for the future. It gives me hope that small people and small communities can make a huge difference to climate change, that we can actually act together and work together to reduce our energy consumption and our greenhouse gas emissions. People are getting to know each other, they're working together, they're talking to each other, which is something we maybe didn't do so much of before. And it's great here that the community is so involved and everybody's so committed to making it work.
We have been delighted with the response from over 20 communities around the UK and as far afield as Castlemaine in Australia.
I think Ashton Hayes is really breaking new ground, and it's because it's a bottom-up effort. It's a community effort rather than being told to do something. Government is very good, isn't it, at actually saying, we should all be doing X, and then not doing it themselves. It's much more positive, I think, if it's the community that is saying, this is what we feel we can actually do.
Oh, climate change is incredibly important. It's probably the one thing that's going to change and have a major impact on food production because of the amount of rainfall we get, the frequency of major events such as storms and so on, dry winters, wet winters. But equally, if we look at the way climate change is impacting on the landscape and the wildlife, if the climate changes radically, then obviously it will cause, potential problems that may be really difficult to address. So incredibly important.
It is our goal not only to make Ashton Hayes the first village in England to achieve carbon neutrality, but to show other villages that by taking coordinated community action, they can do the same.